This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL, everyone. It's Friday. We made it, May 28th. I'm Tori here with Lindsay and Brandon. It's good to see you both.
I can't believe it's like truly summer.
I know.
2021.
It's about to hit. It's about to hit. Actually, we're talking about that. I want to ask all of you at home to hear, do y'all have plans for Memorial Day this weekend?
Betcha.
It's the first big holiday since Americans have started getting vaccinated, and millions of you are getting away. So more than 37 million Americans are taking to the roads and skies over the holiday. That's up 60% from last year when everything was shut down because of the pandemic. But with so many of us getting out of town, it will also mean heavy traffic. Speaking of which, if you're driving, get ready for some sticker shock at the gas pump. Right now, prices are at a 7-year high. And get this, the Indy 500 sold out this weekend in Indianapolis, which means there will be 135,000 fans in attendance, the biggest sold-out crowd in recent memory. So, what are your plans this weekend? How do they compare with last year? Man, I'm not doing anything cool.
Really?
Aren't you guys like shocked about, I'm having like a real problem accepting that last year is over with. Like,
You're not transitioning.
Well, I think this is like a shock. I mean, almost how big my stomach got quickly. It's just like, I was so locked down last year. The most Colin and I would do is like walk down the, a street outside and call it a day, come right back. And now it's like, that Indy 500 is insane. People outside, people are fighting and road rage. And like, it's just like a lot going on. I think I'm overwhelmed a little bit.
So you're going to stay in?
No, I'm still gonna go.
I'm still gonna go.
But I'm gonna go and stay with family, though.
Okay,
yeah, I'm gonna be with my family. So
Brandon?
I'm one of those people that's ready to jump in head first. Last year at this time, it felt like, I guess for like us, the people who kind of had to travel during the pandemic, I don't like it because it felt like you had your own private jet last year at this time. No one was traveling. So now that it's going to be packed, people have to understand if there's going to be a mask mandate, there has to be a sock mandate as well, because you have to wear socks on the plane now. Now, like, I sanitize everything when I get on the plane. And remember all those videos we've done of the people with bad sanitary habits and stuff on planes? We're not doing that this year. Wash your hands, wash your feet, wear a mask.
I do hate when I see the foot up in the airplane.
Yeah.
I don't like the bare foot.
I know. Where are you saying up? Where do they have it?
Sometimes they'll put it right on the thing.
No, I'll put my hand right on the
That's
foot
exactly
and say,
right.
move. That's disgusting.
It's really bad. All right, speaking of things getting back to normal, millions of Americans who are single have been playing it safe during the pandemic, but now that about half of us are vaccinated, some are saying that 2021 will be the summer of sex. Get this, some are even calling it a sexplosion. While others, that's a great joke. While others are branding this summer a hot vax summer. Now, there are historical reasons for thinking this summer could be all about sex. We did have the roaring 20s, remember, after the Spanish flu of 1918. Some psychologists say our collective trauma could also be the cause, arguing that after being faced with our own morality, humans have a tendency to be riskier. So what do you think about this being a, quote, summer of sex? Brandon's like ready to go.
Brandon's leaning forward. Go ahead, take it away.
Not with our boss right there. I can see that, because just think about it. Just think for like the people out there. I have a friend that she always posts like gym bay is here. When she's at the gym, like she has her gym bay. Now after being stuck in the house for a year, it's hashtag shoot your shot summer. Shoot your shot.
Go for it.
If that barista is cute, you want to talk to him, her, go shoot your shot. Be respectful about it, obviously. But hey, this is the summer of love. And who are we to stop the people?
Ooh, summer of love. What do you think, Liz?
I think that everybody was in a rush last year to get in a relationship. It was like pandemic relationships almost felt like when you get to college and everything's rushed and somebody's your boyfriend or girlfriend like 2 days later. And I think those relationships are starting to come apart. They realize like, okay, we're not locked in and no options. And so I do think people are going to be out there exploring their other options because life is back to normal. So I think that it's going to get a little hectic, hot and hectic this summer.
I think it's going to get hot and hectic, but here's why. And I think psychologically, I think the act of making love is really chemically good for humans when they're with a partner. And I think after such a really scary trauma, like not to make this like a real thing here, but I do think that act of connecting with someone physically is actually chemically releases oxytocin. There's all these things that it releases. So I think we're going to see that just like a primitive way of wanting to get that back.
You really dug deep there.
She just took us back to sexual education.
I think with all the music, the new music that came out, people are trying to get less like lovey-dovey and more like let's get it poppin'.
So do you see people in relationship couples? Do you see them giving their significant other a pass?
No.
Now you're just changing the whole topic. Nobody is doing that. Exactly.
No one wants that.
That's why they put me on the panel.
Nobody wants that.
Stir things up. Okay.
Someone just wrote in very hot and heavy. It's been the fall, winter, and spring of sex too. Someone said, "Wow."
Wow, they
had a busy,
crazy year.
All right, switching gears here. We have a topic we've talked about before in the show. If it came down to it, do you think you could win a one-on-one fight with an animal?
Wow.
In one recent survey, most men and women agree they could fight against a rat or a house cat. Can't believe I'm saying this. But everything changed when it came to one animal, the goose. Okay? It turns out the majority of men feel they could take a goose down, but women not so much. Then today we came across this viral video. It's a golfer in Georgia. Got into it with a swan on the green. From the looks of it, the swan wins this one.
He has a whole weapon. That's embarrassing. Not that he should hit the animal cruelty. I'm just saying, I was swatted away.
Oh, there we go. We get a peck in the back because they're quick with the neck, right? But the golfer isn't putting up too much of a fight. They also nip, I think.
Why do you keep saying gopher? It's a golfer.
Golfer. Golfer.
A gopher.
Animal
boy.
wars.
All right, well, what about this one? I'm sure this has come up on your feed. What about bugs? Check out this reporter's one-on-one encounter with a cicada. Take a look at this.
So am I going to be in the break? I mean, in the same block onto this, or are you going to take a break? Okay. Oh my God! Cicada. What the hell? Do I have more on me?
So disgusting.
The producer is laughing.
Mike Pence, move over.
Yeah.
Mike Pence, move over. But your camera person is supposed to let you know you have a cockroach on you.
Do you know, so cicadas, if you don't know, they come out every 17 years. They live under the ground, and every 17 years, and this is the year, and I'm from the East Coast, I don't know about you, but I remember the cicada influx. You step on them, they sound crazy, they're all everywhere. It's like an infestation.
Bugs are my worst nightmare. I'll call an exterminator if I see like a fly that came from outside.
You're a little too much
This
into
is
it.
disgusting. And it reminds me of the olden days reporters that, you see all the viral videos of like a bug going in their mouth and them. Like there's nothing you can do because especially if this man was live, that gets really awkward.
It's awful and it's scary and you're in the Capitol. Can you imagine?
And to go back, man versus animal, I like when you say, can you take on an animal one-on-one? No. I've been hit by NFL linebackers before. Yes, I understand that. But when you're dealing with a wild animal, you can't verbalize and tell it stop. Like if someone's beating me, I could be like, hey, stop. He'll be, all right, I'm beating Brandon up. It's over. No, but a bobcat, you can't tell a bobcat. You can't tell a goose.
This is a genius take.
Stop.
Did you go from goose to bobcat? Can you beat a goose
I
or not?
wouldn't even step in the room with a goose or a bobcat. No, for
goose?
one-on-one. No, you just saw him attack someone
I
with
could
a
beat
weapon.
that
You want to know
goose.
something I found out about geese? They sleep with one eye open.
See?
They're always watching. Coming up on DBL, we're talking to comedy legend Louie Anderson. How does he really feel about being the, quote, token white guy and coming to America? And what do your snacks say about you? A lot more than you think. That's coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Across the country, colleges and universities have announced COVID-19 mandates for returning students. So let's verify, is this legal? We took that question to 3 law experts, Carmel Shachar, Joy Blanchard, and David Bloomfield. They tell us that schools across the country have long been requiring vaccinations. And there's a legal precedent from over a century ago. A man was fined in Cambridge, Massachusetts for refusing to get a smallpox shot during the epidemic. He argued that mandatory vaccinations infringed on his liberty, violating the 14th Amendment.
And the Supreme Court said even though a person may protest for personal reasons in the interest of public health and safety, it could be mandated. And so that's why we see today so many schools and universities mandating things like measles, mumps, rubella, polio vaccines. It's because it is for the common good.
But there are some exceptions here. Our experts say that federal laws like the ADA require that schools make reasonable accommodations for those with medical conditions. There's also some argument for religious exemptions, but that's going to depend on the state and how courts apply existing statutes.
Some colleges and universities may say, all right, if you don't want the vaccine, we have a reasonable accommodation, which is you will continue to be on Zoom every day.
Another wrinkle here would be if local leaders oppose a vaccine mandate, particularly in public colleges.
Places such as Arkansas, Texas, and Florida, there the law is a little bit evolving, especially because most of these universities and colleges do take some sort of state money.
So we can verify that in general, colleges and universities can legally mandate vaccines. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Welcome back to DBL. For a lot of us, it's one of our favorite pastimes. That's right, I'm talking about snacking. That's right, okay? And it turns out your favorite snacks may reveal a lot about you. According to a recent survey, savory snackers are more likely to be social butterflies with their snacks, enjoying them with friends and family at parties and social events. But meantime, people who are sweet tooths prefer to enjoy them during dates or while binging their favorite TV show. Other details about sweet snackers include their favorite music is rap or hip hop. They also prefer comedic books, movies, and TV shows. On the other hand, savory snackers are more likely to prefer blues or rock music, and they like historical fiction books and sci-fi movies and TV shows. So what are your thoughts? Do you agree? What do you think your snacking says about you? That got a little personal. They're like, you're a Sagittarius and you have a golden retriever. Like, why was it so serious?
I felt like the sweet thing hit the nail on the head.
Oh, did it?
Because I love candy. I loved candy before I was pregnant. I love candy even more now.
That has not changed.
It has not changed. But some things I like are more sweet things, like Honey Nut Cheerios. I never ate cereal since I was like 10.
You eat cereal
I
now
eat cereal
as a
in the
snack?
morning.
Wow. Oh, in the morning.
Oh,
okay,
and as a snack.
Okay,
yeah, and as a snack. And what else do I eat? I really like these sour rings now from Whole Foods. They're like organic sour rings that you can get.
So has your taste changed from being pregnant to not being pregnant when you snack?
Everything tastes good now.
Do you go healthier?
As opposed to
like, will you go healthier, or will you get like instead like the popcorn chips or whatever they're called?
Yeah, I'll go in the chip aisle and get the ones that say organic popcorn chips.
Okay.
But I'm still eating chips.
So if you had to go sweet or savory, what's your choice?
Sweet for sure.
Sweet for sure. What are you? Savory or sweet?
I guess sweet, because I am a sucker for flan. That is my snack. That's my
you
ultimate.
like the nastiest stuff. What other thing did
Please
that you
don't
like?
disrespect flan.
Laffy Taffy Orange or something?
I'm like
banana
Laffy Taffy.
gross.
Disgusting.
Red Vines.
That's disgusting.
Tapatio chips.
I think that he gets this stuff because he doesn't like to share. He's like one of those people who don't want to share, so he gets the nastiest flavor so he can enjoy it alone.
So, to go on that, if I offer you a Twizzler, I want you to say no.
Oh, okay, that's
because
fair.
I love my Twizzlers.
That's fair.
So, Tori, what about you? Like,
I'm a salty. I'm like a chip person.
So do you like rock?
I do, but I have a terrible taste in music. But I do like sci-fi and stuff.
Historical
movies, stuff like that.
And you like to eat while watching movies?
Yes, and here's a question. Do you eat, and I'm going to ask you guys at home this too, out of the bag, or do you put it on a plate first?
Out of the bag
chips?
or in a nice glass bowl?
Oh, I'm just straight out of the bag.
Oh, you dangerous one. What do you eat? What do you snack on when you cross stitch? Is that a separate snack?
Chips and dip. I'm a chips and dip
What
girl.
if you spill on it?
I am very careful.
Wow.
It's not easy.
I'm not that organized. I would spill all over the nice
I'm
beige
a chip
cloth.
girl. So let us know what your favorite savory or salty, we want to know, and if you agree with the survey. Coming up on DBL, we're talking a comedy legend and Emmy-winning actor Louie Anderson. It's a great interview. Do not go away.
A lot of teachers are worried that this year's summer slide could turn into a secondary pandemic plummet. Let's connect the dots. In an average summer, students can forget up to a quarter of what they learned in the school year. That's an even bigger concern right now. After a year of online and remote learning, teachers in North Carolina estimate 75% of this year's third graders aren't reading at a third grade level. That means any backslide could put kids more than a year behind. It's part of what prompted the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction to require schools to offer in-person summer programs. Education experts say even just a month's worth of in-person summer school can raise testing scores in reading and math as they head into a new school year. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Louie Anderson's stand-up comedy career has spanned decades, and he's made appearances in some of Hollywood's most legendary comedies. Earlier, he joined us to take a look back at some of his most memorable moments in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Hello. Hi. You know, I started on cleanup just like you guys, but now, see, I'm washing lettuce. Soon I'll be on fries, then the grill. A year or two, I make assistant manager. And that's where the big bucks start rolling in.
Yes, that was comedian Louie Anderson in his iconic role as Maurice in Coming to America. And you didn't find out until much later that you were actually cast as the, quote, token white guy in the 1988 film because the studio demanded it. And you didn't even have to audition. Did you end up having total creative control over your character, or is Maurice more of an Eddie Murphy creation? Give us all the deets.
It was a combination of who I was, and then he created the character, of course. But I never have known for 33 years that I was the token white guy. I had no idea.
What did that make you feel
that
like?
Was never talked there. I felt great. To be honest with you, I liked being the only white guy on there. You know, I didn't really think about it. We had so much fun. It was my first big part in anything. And everybody treated me so great, and I just love Eddie. He's one of the greatest actors.
My parents think you're the greatest. They love you, and they loved you for years. But you think Eddie Murphy's the greatest. Why do you think that? And have you seen anything quirky that Eddie does to get into character?
He just pops in. He is there. I mean, it's crazy. But the reason I think that is because look how many movies Eddie's done. Look how much flack he's taken here and there. He's done movies all for a personal interest, whether it was for his kids or he wanted to get outside the box. Bowfinger. Did you see Mr. Church? That was a dramatic role that really Eddie should have got an Oscar nod for that. And no matter what, he sticks with it.
Well, Louie, this is Al Jackson here. And before I get to my question, I just want to say, really, how you doing? I wanted to thank you very quickly. You put me on your Showtime special. It was my first cable syndicated stand-up, so I appreciate you for that. I never got a chance to thank you.
That's so great. I remember that special. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good.
And you couldn't have got on it unless you were a great Al. So
he is. He's fantastic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. With that said, it's time to give you some props because I wanted to commend you personally on your weight loss. I know you've been really trying really hard to kick the sugar habit, which is super hard, and drop some pounds. How have you been able to look at you? Look at you.
Drop some pounds.
You're disappearing over there. How'd you do it through the pandemic?
I turned off my Uber Eats. I tell you what I did is I did intermittent fasting. You know, 1 minute I would be eating, another minute I wouldn't. All kidding aside, I took it very serious. I got a trainer. I worked out. I swam. You know, this has been a lifelong struggle for me. I'm no longer compulsively eating like I was, and that was the big thing for me.
We're so happy that you're talking about it because you definitely are reaching so many people, so many viewers right now that are also struggling with food addiction. So thank you. And speaking of changing bodies, as Christine Baskets, you played a woman who was based off of your own mother. Let's take a quick peek at what that looks like.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I know.
Daniela's gonna want to see these.
This is Bucky Boy, that's Lady, and that's Bucky Girl.
Oh, well, can we change one to Esther for me, Ma?
Okay, so Louie, I gotta ask, what's your favorite thing about playing a woman?
I didn't realize how comfortable the clothes were. The clothes are so much more comfortable. Man, you know, I'm tired of being lowered into my pants. And I love the idea of wearing those outfits and really feeling alive and happy. And, you know, I channeled my mom because I think she would have been so happy to play a part like that. And so I did an homage to her. I had so much fun. I really, you know, I felt like I was a woman. I didn't feel like I was a man playing a woman.
Very cool. DBL Nation, for more of Louie Anderson, do not miss his newest and hilarious stand-up special, Live with Louie, in Las Vegas on June 12th.
Yes.
Louie, thank you so much for chatting with us, for always being candid. We appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. I love you guys. I just want to tell you, you're all doing just a great job.
Oh, wow.
Honest to God. Just the greatest.
Thank you.
That means a lot.
It's very
man.
hard to do what you guys are doing.
All right, come back and see us,
That
man.
just made my year. Thank you, Louie.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Mosquito season is here. That means mosquito bites are back. Louie Anderson sent this question to the Verify team.
If a mosquito bites a person that has COVID-19, will that mosquito be able to pass COVID-19 to a person that does not have COVID-19?
With Verify, we want to make sure you know who our sources are first. We spoke with Dr. Mo Rezai. She is an internal medicine physician for Fort Worth Primary Care. We also talked to Dr. Michael Levy, an epidemiologist at the University of Pennsylvania's School of Medicine. COVID-19 is a respiratory virus, meaning it's passed through the air. A mosquito is an insect. It doesn't have lungs, but it breathes through its exoskeleton, so it can't spread a virus through the air.
The mechanism of the COVID transmission, which is airborne or droplets, so it kind of doesn't go along with how it actually transmits and propagates.
When a mosquito does pass a virus to a human, it comes from a bite or the insect's salivary glands. But COVID-19 can't replicate inside the mosquito.
There'd be no way for the virus to get from a mosquito's gut if a mosquito did somehow pick it up back into another person.
Not only that, but experts tell us since a mosquito can survive long enough on the blood from a single bite, it is very unlikely for it to immediately bite someone else. So we can verify. Mosquitoes cannot spread COVID-19 if they bite a person who is already infected.
Welcome back to DBL. Older adults who have been quarantined this past year may be noticing a big difference in their overall physical ability. So here are a few tips to help you get back out there in DBL's Focus on Fitness presented by QB. First, it may sound obvious, but really reconnect with your doctor and schedule a checkup to see where you need to focus on building strength. Another thing to remember is start slow and be super realistic about your abilities post-pandemic. Lastly, reestablish a routine. Having structure to the day with exercise will get you back to feeling like yourself. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy. Regardless of physical ability or age, try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I need a cue in the chat. Everyone's just been talking about their favorite snacks the entire show. And now I'm like super hungry.
People said plantains. I really love those too.
Plantain chips, yeah. And cereal, they went off on that. All right, we got some comments. Travis says, give me a big bag of salt and vinegar chips and I'm good to go.
Ooh.
I love it when it even burns your tongue. It's so vinegary.
Yeah, but your breath after,
I'm fine with it.
You're okay with it?
I'm alone in the dark, Brandon.
I want to know how many people think that that Brandon's choices are gross, because he also likes Charleston shoes. So if you think, hurry up in the comments if you think Brandon's choices are gross.
What a brilliant candy that was.
It's a brick of nothing.
You put it in the freezer and then you break it in half?
That's disgusting.
No, so many better
Fanny
things
wrote
to
in,
do.
you can't go wrong with the dope charcuterie board, which is always nice, a nice cheese tray.
nice and That's fancy.
Very
Okay,
fancy.
wow.
And meats. And finally, Patty says, I got to be careful with the snacks. Before you know it, the whole bag of Cheetos will be gone.
Yeah, you got to watch out, because one bag a day or something like that is not good at all. And you could just eat throughout a whole show.
How about the Pringles?
You know there are people who put their Pop-Tarts in their cereal? Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, wow. Wow, you
No?
make terrible choices. DBL is new every day. We'll see you Monday. Same time, same place. Bye, guys.
Thank you.